So last week, we were looking at the habit installation method. And today, we are talking about the 2020 formula. What this is about, this I think is the gist of the book, because the book is the 5 a.m. club. Now here they are talking about what you do when you wake up 5 a.m. And I just want to run through this quickly so that when Zaitun comes on call, she has some bit of more time. Just to introduce this, talks about the fact that part-time commitment delivers part-time results. So just think about the way you are committed to your business. You know? Part-time commitment and results. In other words, whatever you're committed to part-time. And by the way, even when we say this is a part-time business, it doesn't mean your commitment is part-time. You can have a part-time business, but give it full-time commitment when you're doing it part-time. Yesterday, we had the story of Rosette, who is a principal accountant at Makerere University, doing this business part-time. And within 6 months, she is on her way to Emerald Director. So that is a person doing the business part-time. But when she is doing it in the time she has committed to, she has full-time commitment, even when doing it part-time. So in other words, the whole point being that the way you commit to something will determine the result you get out of it. If you commit part-time, it will pay you part-time. And by part-time, I don't mean in terms of time. I mean in terms of commitment. So you can still be part-time in the business, but committed, because when you say I'm putting aside my 1 or 2 hours, that is really giving it full-time, even when you're giving it part-time in terms of the actual time. Hope that brings a bit of message for us. Part-time commitment, part-time result. How committed are you to the business? No idea works without doing the work. Okay? No idea works if we don't do. Work is possible, but it's only possible when we put into action that which we are talking about. The dreams and desires we have are like wishbone. Okay, and what they are saying as a precursor to this is that rising before daybreak is your backbone to get them done. So that raised my curiosity about, so what exactly do you do when you wake up? Okay, and we're going to get into that shortly. And he says it's not just about rising early that makes this regime so powerful. It's what you do over the 60 minutes after you wake up that makes the 5 a.m. club so game changing. Okay, so it's not just about rising up early, because you could rise up early and what do? You check your social media, you check your WhatsApp, check your news, you do all these things. In a way, rising up is not just the magic, but the power is in what you do when you get up. Okay, and that brings us to what he is talking about. So this is in 3 pockets. Okay, so there's pocket 1, pocket 2, and pocket 3. Now, pocket 1 is the first 20 minutes. Now, remember, he calls it a 20-20-20 formula. So the first 20 minutes, precisely between 5 a.m. and 5:20, he says what you do. The book says what you do is that you move. Now, why is that? What does that mean? It means some time for intense exercise, okay? Exercise that preferably makes you sweat. Okay? What that means that you are able to learn, you are able to hydrate, and you're able to breathe deeply. So that's what it means. It means that for the first 20 minutes, you do some bit of exercise. Now, how do you do this at 5 a.m.? Do you run out? Do you do it in your home? That's the creativity around it. But the whole point is making some time for exercise. Making some time for exercise. That's what it means. And when you do that, an exercise that helps you to breathe deeply, an exercise that helps you to sweat, an exercise that is intense, that helps you to get your body moving, that is the gist of the first 20 minutes. So that's what it means. Now, why is it important? It's important because it cleanses cortisol. Now, cortisol is a certain hormone that is not productive. Okay, so when you do this kind of activity, it cleanses it out. But when you don't, that unproductive hormone stays on. So in a way, you don't get to be as productive as you would. Okay. Then there is another hormone called BDNF. It is like the productive. It's like the hormone that helps the brain to function at its peak, is able to flow. So you can see a lot of exercise actually has a way it causes the body to secrete the productive hormones and to deplete the non-productive hormones. Okay? And that's why they talk about it. And that's why they say it's the first thing you should do. There are two other hormones called dopamine and serotonin. They are hormones that helps you to be productive, that helps you to be creative, that helps you to be enthusiastic. That's why you see when you do like a morning activity, you feel good. You know, you feel a burst of energy, you feel some bit of enthusiasm, you feel excitement, you feel exhilaration. It is those happy hormones that are released. So that is the gist around it. That if you begin your day on a high with peak energy, with good energy, with enthusiasm, with excitement, imagine the phone call you make. You know, imagine if you begin your day this way, then you get on the phone and you're prospecting. You know, you feel like someone has high energy on the other side of the phone. And the reverse is true. If you just get out of your bed, maybe you wake up like at 7 a.m., you know, someone looks on the phone and you feel, are you okay? Are you sounding good? You know, is everything okay? So that is why the book recommends that you begin your day this way. Okay? Now, of course, like I said, the creativity is then how do you make it work for you? Because your environment could be different, but how does this work for you? Now, that's where we get to apply it at a personal level. So that is the what and the why. And then also metabolism elevates. That's when you do the activity in the morning, which is partly related to the weight loss program, if you get to notice, because there are quite a number of exercise. You know, it's highly advised that you also do your exercise when you're on the weight loss program. Okay, so we have looked at the what, the why, and then the benefits. What are the benefits? You have more focus and productivity. Like I shared earlier, the focus and the brain is optimized. Okay, your energy grows, you have less stress, you live longer. So just those first 20 minutes of your day, that's how you can spend them. So what does that mean? You do some level of activity. Why? It secretes these productive hormones, but most importantly, the benefits, you get to be more productive, you get to be more focused, you have more energy, you have less stress, and you live longer. So if you get up in the morning, the first thing you're doing is you're checking your social feeds. That may not be a good way to maximize your morning. Okay, so when you get up in the morning, how you start your day is what matters. Okay, if you start your day with the news, you start your day with something that is not necessarily positive, it has a way it impacts the way the rest of your day goes. The first part of the day is where we are saying do some bit of movement. Get your body into motion, and you'll have a better way to. Okay. Moving on to the second one, which is pocket number 2. It talks about reflect. Okay. Reflect, what does that mean? So after you've got your exercise out of the way, what does it mean? It means that you take some time to journal, you can meditate, and you can pray, you can contemplate. So as you can see, it's more of reflection, more of reflection, more of reflection. And come to think about it, you know, even when you are, I mean, you can even choose to reflect about how, you know, how grateful you are, how, you know, you can begin in the reflection mode. It also provides you with the opportunity to think about what you're doing, because many times we don't take time to think about what we are doing. We just do without taking time to think about what we are doing. So take some time to reflect, take some time to meditate, take some time to plan, take some time to pray. You know, think about your business, where it is now, what you think you can do better. Pray about some of those plans that you have. You know, commit them to God, the reflection around it. Reflect. Actually, as you go higher in life, you realize that, for example, when the people that lead organizations like the executive directors, the CEOs, many times we often say the difference between leadership and management is while leaders do more of, while managers do things right, leaders ensure you're doing the right things. Okay. So it's one thing to do things right. It's another thing to do the right thing. You might not be, if you focus too much on doing things right, you might not be doing the right things. So the reflection part helps you to think about what you're doing so that actually you're doing the right things as you also get to do them right. I hope that makes a bit of sense there. But that is the reflection part. Now, why is this important? It boosts your gratitude. I'm more aware. Awareness soars. Happiness lifts. Wisdom develops. Serenity expands. Okay, so gratitude. As you think about, you take time to reflect. You realize not everyone who went to bed last night actually woke up this morning. So you have every reason to be grateful. You become more aware of what you're doing and how you can even do it better. You become a happy person because you become grateful. You see, many times we take things for granted and we get a sense of entitlement. Happiness, you become happy, you become grateful. You have an opportunity that not many people have. You become wiser as you reflect on your own experiences because that's wisdom. You see, there's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. You can be knowledgeable but not wise. So knowledge is just acquisition of facts and information. Wisdom is when you begin to apply what you're learning. Now, that's when you become wise. And then you have a certain level of serenity. Okay. And then what are the benefits? Greater positivity. You become more positive. Increased reactivity. So reactivity means you just react without taking time to actually think about what you're doing. So reaction, increased reactivity. Higher creativity. You become more creative. I'm more creative. You perform better, stronger performance, and then you have a richer life. So that is the second part. Wake up, remember to do your exercise. Remember to take off some time to reflect, Take some time to reflect. Journal, meditate, plan, pray. And you've seen the why that's important and the benefit. Okay. Let's move on to the final bit of this process. Okay, it's called Pocket 3. And you can even see they have put some time slots. If you're doing this for 20 minutes every day, 5 a.m. to 5:20, 5:20 to 5:40, now 5:40 to 6. What does that mean? 20 minutes. What does it mean? You review your goals. What are your goals? What are you working on? Who are the people you're focusing on? You review them. And by the way, where your mind goes, energy flows. So in other words, when you look at your goal and you actually think about it, when you just think about it, when you look at it and you reflect, you review your goal, the act of reviewing it has a level of impact that it brings. Sometimes we set goals and we don't even look at them. But if you have your goal and you continue to review it, that mental focus on your goal has an impact on your level of product. Okay, then read books. That's a good time to do that. Read books. You can find a good book, read it. Consume some audiobooks, something that is in audio format. You can listen in case you prefer to listen. You can listen to a podcast. You can listen to something in audio format called a podcast, or you can study some material that is online. So it's all about growing, what you're feeding your mind. Review your goals, read something, consume, listen, study. That's what it means. Now, why is it important? Okay, it builds a certain mindset. Okay, your knowledge deepens. Your knowledge, you become more knowledgeable. Okay, your acumen. Your acumen is like how good you are at something. Your acumen develops. You even develop greater confidence, and then you master change. Mastering change simply means you become aware of things that are changing, and then you are able to become change friendly. So you remember during the COVID time, just before COVID, Neolife introduced the back office, and it was Kendra's initiative. Now, sometimes you wonder, how do some of these initiatives come about? And you could almost think that Neolife was ready for that COVID time. Why? Because someone took some time to just initiate something and bring something before the time actually came. So by the time the world went into a lockdown, we were ready to work online. And that's why the business even continued to grow, much as we were working from home. So you become a master of change in a way that when change is coming, somehow you are ready because you took some time to think through and get yourself prepared. And then have the benefits. What are the benefits? Better income and impact. Your craft, the way you do your work, your craft calibrates. Domain dominance, you become a dominant force in your industry. Personal growth, and you become. Wow. So those are the three things we have been talking about. Pocket number one, let's just go back a bit. Pocket number one, we said move. Get some level of energy, some level of exercise, some level of activity. Pocket number two, reflect. And we say this is where you take some time to pray. You take some time to, think, meditate, plan. And then pocket number three is where you're growing, you're learning, you're reading, you're studying, and all that has got its benefit. So, Zaitun, let me invite you to weigh in here and share with us a bit more, expand our perspective on what this 2020 formula is all about. Over to you, Zai.
Good morning, everybody.
Zaitun, you're a bit low. Try and up your video, your volume.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I had just a volume. Some people are reflecting here. It's quite interesting. When you're reading this book, the 2020 formula was one of those parts of this journey that was left as a very special part of the journey. The mentor kept talking about it and never enlarging the content. And the mentees or the learners were always anxious to hear about the 2020 formula. The 2020 formula is just one clear way of starting our day. It just gives us clarity in the simplest way, how you begin your day. And rather than leaving it vague, that wake up early, waking up early is a good thing, we are given a formula. We are given a way that we can start our day. One, it is not a must to have them the way they have been laid out in the book. The reflection, actually it is move, reflect, and then grow. For some people, they start with reflecting. It's probably an easier way to start with the praying side of it, the reflection side of it, the silent side of it, or the peaceful side of it. And then later on, you have your book, that is the grow, and then we go for the exercise as we jump into the shower to go out into the world. So you can change the order of the move, reflect, and grow. It's not a must to have them in that order. The highlight of the exercise bit of the 2020 formula, simply dividing your victory hour, 5 to 6, into 3 portions. So one of them is doing your exercise. Doing your exercise. The important word is your move. My exercise is not Jesse's exercise, is not the other person's exercise, because all of us come in different shapes, we come in different levels of health, we come with different flexibility and all that. So find your exercise. For some people, it is full gym, like they are going to do the total movement of the head up to toe. For others, it's going to be on the floor. You sit and do your sit-ups, and others, it's going to be a skip. For others, it's going to be a trot, a jog to move maybe in your living room or around your compound. a total movement of your body. So find the exercise that is going to give you the best for your body and what your body can accommodate and maintain. It's very important. But what we really encourage ourselves and people is to ensure at least jump, at least get your toes off the feet. It may not be as high as the other person, but ensure that you jump, you get a rope, a rope for yourself and skip. It could be 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, but we are encouraged to add one every other day. If you did 20, tomorrow it will be 21 or 22. It shouldn't be like yesterday. So find your exercise. That is very, very important. The exercise that is special and fits your lifestyle. If you can engage a fitness person to guide you, that even makes it better. The other, when it comes to movement, have a target. Have a target for your health. What are you looking out for? Do you want to improve your pressure? That is that is blood pressure. Do you want to maintain, reduce, or increase your weight? Do you want to increase your sweating? Do you want to there must be something that you are improving when it comes to your health, because movement is not about increasing the the dopamine and the happy hormones, but it's about you maintaining your body. One of the things that is very important for all of us, especially neo-life distributors, is to have the right body weight. Go out and find out your body mass index. Ensure that you are at your right weight. Some of us are obese. We are in neo-life, but we are overweight. Some of us are obese. Some of us are underweight. So movement, this exercise bit of the 2020 formula should be able to help us be in the right state of health. The proper weight, the proper pressure, or the heart rate, and all the other aspects of our health. So there must be a target, either a monthly or annual target. I usually I think around 1 year and 8 months ago, I was in the overweight. And when I started the 5 a.m. club, I was around 88 kilograms. And my BMI is 75 kilo. I'm supposed to be around between 74 and 76. So I set out to lose those excess kilograms. And it was through the 2020 formula that I was able to go to my right weight. So there must be something that you're looking out for when you're moving. Then when you go to reflect, the next pocket, which is the 20 minutes. This, to me, I pray that I also have this perfectly. We need to have a connection. We must have a closer relationship with our Creator. And what is the best time? It should be the first pocket of this victory hour, the first 20 minutes of you doing some special things that you've chosen for yourself. What are those things that you do when you are talking to your Creator, when the rest of the world is sleeping? What do you read of the part of your holy book? For those who have hymns or songs, I know some, as long as it is directed to your Creator, it should be a routine whereby, it is, you are looking out for this part of your day whereby you relay what you are thinking between you and your God, whereby you convey what you're looking out from your Creator, the things that you truly and totally believe that He is the only being that can cater for them. And it should be a routine that even when you are sleeping, you know that when I wake up, I'm going to go into the bathroom, clean myself a bit, get into that corner, say this, and sit down, write out your prayers, and You have to have some sort of like a notebook. You are writing out your prayers. You are taking the answered prayers. You are, using the beautiful words just like you would use maybe in the normal love relationship. So we need to close the gap between us and our Creator in this 20 minutes. The other thing that is very important that has been highlighted is gratitude. Most of the time when we talk spiritual, people think of requesting, asking God. For us here, we call it, dua. Someone is, I want this, I want this. God give me this, God give me this. And we forget what we call gratitude. Oprah Winfrey highlighted for me what we call the gratitude list. Just like we have a dream list or a dream book or a dream chart, we need to learn to have a gratitude list or a gratitude book. Have a book where you write out the things that your Creator has made happen for you. It is one other thing that keeps us happy. It keeps you going. It gives you the zeal. It makes you move harder and stay in there because you have achieved from the smallest of you selling a 3NN, of you selling a PCC. Write out a gratitude list, the things that have happened. It's something that is usually not taken seriously, but get a notebook, get a book and start writing out the things that you have achieved. It's going to help you understand that you're too successful and you are living for purpose. Lastly, is the read. The read. Every other day. Actually, they say that on your bed, we call it the head post, where you put your head or below your pillow, there must be a book. There must be a book which you look at every single day, no matter what it is. At least read 2 lines. It is a gift that we give to ourselves, and it is something that makes us better. It gives us an edge. It makes us different from every being that is on this earth. Get a book. If you don't know which book to pick, ask around. We can share contact with you. Get hard copies. That is now the highlight for me. Get hard copies of books so that even your grandchildren will find them there. So the 2020 formula is simply us just starting the day intelligently, healthily, and peacefully. Thank you very much. I hand over to you, Jesse, as we finish this.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Zaitun. Thank you for bringing it home for us to appreciate what it means for us to move, to reflect, and to grow. And